Moving the needle.
What is up, Movement Radio?
Woo!
Moving the needle segment, and we have an exciting segment for you this time for sure. We got all the way from Scotland, Sonar Zone, aka DJ Sonar Zone, our incredible friend Tim. How are you, bro?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on the program. It's such an honor and a privilege to be with you guys. Movement Radio, as you know, has been a big part of my life, so it's such an honor to be on here with you guys. So thanks so much.
Well, that means a lot to us.
Yeah, well, thank you for making good music, because, you know, we play your stuff on the show and definitely enjoy it. So keep cranking those tunes out.
Thank you, bro. Thanks. Appreciate that, man.
A little bit about Tim. Not only is he a great friend, he is a DJ. He's a trance DJ. He's a trance producer. He's got songs out that we've played on the show, like Utopia,
yes,
like Resonate. The Utopia remix, Maxim remix, did really well. We're gonna talk about all this stuff later, but he's a awesome family man. He's got like DJ like shows under his belt. He's got productions under his belt, and now he's really winning with the whole streaming thing that we're all having to deal with right now. He is doing an incredible job of that. He's like super involved in what's happening in his town, in Dunfermline, Scotland, represent. And
Yes.
So you're just gonna love chatting with him and listening to what we have to say, what he has to say today. So yeah, what's the first question, Tim?
All right, let's do this. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what was life like growing up? And how did you get into this thing called electronic dance music?
Wow, that's a long answer for that, but I'll try and
keep it short. Don't make it long. You got to keep it short for the radio.
All right, so well, the long and short of it is I was born and raised in a very strict Christian home. And then as soon as I left home, I did the typical prodigal son, went to see what I thought I was missing. And thankfully, with God's grace, he brought me back. I realized I wasn't missing anything. And in actual fact, the life with him was so much better. And so now I'm happily married with 3 amazing kids.
Yes.
And loving life. When you say, how did I get into music? It's an interesting one. My favorite genre is uplifting trance. And I think that probably comes from when I was growing up, when we were kids, my dad used to play all the greats like the clarinet concerto and all the sort of classical music, Mozart, Beethoven, Tchaikovsky and everything, and they've all got great melodies in them. And I think that sort of has gone into my brain, and that's what resonates with me. So I love it, and actually it's actually biblical. King David, he played the harp, and it says he got rid of the depression from Saul. So it's actually it's something that's designed by God, that the music will affect our moods, will affect our soul. So
That's great. That's really cool. And I can see now why the word resonate is kind of themed throughout a lot of what you do. And of course, we'll talk about the Resonate podcast here shortly. But yeah.
Yeah. So, what is your biggest inspiration in music with regard? It could be from the past or it could be currently.
Yeah, well, I think that's what I was just saying there. The classical music has sort of been a big grounding with all that melodies and all the harmonies that come in on that. But definitely uplifting trance for me personally, I feel it's one of the best styles of music. Of course, I'm biased. But it's when as soon as you hear an uplifting trance track, it immediately lifts your spirits. So, I mean, obviously there's the ones like Armin van Buuren, but actually Kieran McCauley, who is from Ireland, he's an amazing trance producer and DJ, and his music, just as soon as he plays that, you can feel it again resonating. And also there's a new DJ and producer called Bix, Bixx, and every single one of his tracks are just amazing.
Where's he based?
He's actually in Alabama in the US. So check him out. Absolutely incredible guy.
So, okay, so what's next for Sonar Zone? What are you looking forward to? Production-wise, podcast-wise, whatever. What's next?
Well, that's another one of these long answers, but I'll keep that short as well. been taking the advantage of the streaming, as Jonathan said, so getting on Twitch every week. One of the things about the lockdown, obviously nobody can go out and play any events, but the podcast and streaming has really exploded worldwide. There's a great community out there now, and so it's really great to get involved with that. I'm also now involved with Afterbeat UK, which is through Alco,
Yes.
another good friend of Movement Radio and Transform. So together with my wife, we're going to be running the Scotland department of Afterbeat. And also I'm involved in another charity called Saving Light, which is where we're working with DJs and producers in the scene with mental illness. So there's a lot of things there, but that's a sort of quick overview. Production wise at the moment, I've just started a track, but it's a long way off because I'm so busy doing so many other things, and also, as you pointed out, being a family man. But yeah, always something going on, which is great. I like to keep active.
I love it, dude. You've been super inspiring, actually, like to see you during lockdown. So for those of you who didn't know, Tim has been involved in like all kinds of online festivals. He's kind of downplaying some of it, but he's been doing all kinds of online festivals. He's been super busy during this entire time. So again, follow him, check it out, especially if you like trance music. So Tim, where can we get a hold of you? What is the absolute best place to kind of get everything? The podcasts, the Twitch Thursdays, to find out more about you. Tell us, where do we go?
Well, I'm on all the socials, but the best way is just to go into my website and you'll get all the information there. So that's www.sonarzone.co.uk.
So that's sonarzone.co.uk. So not .com, but co.uk. Excellent, man. Well, we are super excited to share your work with our audience and continue to do that. We're inspired. I'm super inspired by everything that you've been doing lately, and obviously by your friendship, bro. And we miss you, man.
Yeah, we miss you too. We've had some amazing times over here in Scotland. In fact, all over the place, US, Netherlands. But yeah, it's always great working with you guys, and the energy and the spirit that you bring to places when you come is just incredible. So we hope that this COVID gets over with soon so that you can come back to Scotland.
Yes, dude. Well, we can't wait, and praise Jesus for that, man. Because
Amen.
and it takes a great team too, for sure.
Amen.
You're incredible.
So there we go, Sonar Zone on
Thank you very much.
Moving the Needle, Movement Radio. Go check them out. Now we're gonna keep going here for our extended interview. So those of you listening on the radio show, go to our YouTube channel at Transform EDM. Check out the rest of this interview, kind of like an extended mix. And all you trance heads know those 10-minute extended mix.
Yes.
Drives me crazy sometimes. I'm just kidding.
Because house music is short.
That's right. Let's just get between the 5-6 minute extended mixes. No, I'm totally kidding. But yeah, check it out on the YouTube channel at Transform EDM. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna keep going with Sonar Zone, our good buddy from Dunfermline, Scotland, throwing down for years. One thing. Well, let's talk about the live stream that you got going on. Well, the podcast and the live stream. So you got the podcast, Resonate, which is once a month, and then you've got the Twitch live stream. Tell us about both of those. Anything unique or special about those? Maybe some of the things you've learned through doing it. Some of your favorite aspects of it. Just tell us about those.
Okay, so Resonate, it's been on the go now for about 2.5 years, and it's a monthly podcast. And that goes out onto After Hours FM, which is broadcast globally. And I now have just started on about 3 months ago now on Twitch, and that's once a week, that is. And the thing I think about Twitch is it's incredible. There's such a great community there. When you're on, unlike any of the other social channels, there's so much more interaction. The people that are there stay on. They don't just come on for 2 minutes and then go off. They're there the whole way through. I have to say, whoever invented Twitch has done an amazing job, because it's totally set up for the DJ thing. In fact, there's so many people in the chat that keep saying they don't know where they would be without having the Twitch live streams. And it's been great connecting with people. And then we get private messages offline with some of them, talking about some of the issues that they're having.
Wow.
I recently did a mental health first aid course, so I posted that on my socials, just saying if anybody's got any issues, feel free to just chat. So I've been having quite a few chats with DJs and also just other people that are listening, and it's great just being there as a listening ear to them, or just giving like some advice. So yeah, it's been amazing. Really enjoyed it, and although there's a lot of negative things come out of the lockdown, I have to say that God's really using this to, I mean, the opportunities that I've had through this has just been incredible.
I love that, because if there's one thing that we do this for, it's to make a difference in people's lives. And so for you to be innovative and be ready to do that with whatever platform God's given you, that's so awesome. Can you expand on that just a little bit? Like, what does it mean to you to be a Christian DJ, or to be a Christian who DJs, or if you want to share one or two stories, or if you just want to just share your heart motivation behind, like, what is it being a Christian in dance music? Just what's your heart? What's your thoughts?
So I think one of the things is that the EDM scene, or nightclubs, or that whole scene is basically, it's a place that's kind of with general Christians, it's unreached. It's a place where they just say, well, we're not going there. We hope that they'll come to church. But in actual fact, when you look at it, people always say, what would Jesus do? When you look at what Jesus did, he spent most of his time with the tax collectors and with the sinners. The Pharisees used to get on to him and say, why are you spending so much time eating and drinking with them? You should be out here with us. And he said that the sick are the ones that need the doctor, not the well people. And so me and I've got a friend called Rob, we work together doing this called Saving Light. And we feel that we should be a light in the darkness. We are there where people are needing Jesus, but also the people that are there, the chance of them coming to a church service is minimal compared with us actually being there. It's a bit like Queen Esther when she was in the courts, or Joseph when he was there. They were there for a specific time. And actually, I'd like to say to anybody that's listening that God's time is always perfect. If Queen Esther had been revealed, if she had revealed who she really was too soon, she could possibly have been killed or definitely thrown out of the king's palace. But she waited and she trusted in God, and she knew that God's timing was best. And when it was his time, he revealed who she was, and she got favour with the king, and also ultimately she saved the whole of her people. So anybody that's watching, if you feel that you're maybe in a situation where you sort of think, God's not used me, what am I doing here? This is, this COVID, whatever it is, the situation that's going on in your life, where you feel it's maybe not what you think God's wanting for you, just be patient, just keep praying, and believe that God's got it. It was exactly the same with Joseph. Joseph was he was sold by his brothers into a foreign country. He was jailed, but at a specific time, God brought him, and at that time was the exact time when he was at his optimum. So keep pressing in, keep believing, and God will come through for you at the perfect time.
Bro, that is powerful. I love that.
You got me preaching there, sorry.
We want more, bro. I want to put you in the pulpit. I'm sorry. But one thing God's along those lines been teaching me is that he's more relational than transactional. He's not just wanting to be directive, like do this, do that, now it's time. He's like giving us like clues, and he's spoken parables to like draw us in near to his heart, and so as we pursue him on timing, or as we pursue him on the next thing, he's not being vague or playing a game. That's not at all what I mean. I just mean that we start to understand his heart culture and like who he is as our God, as our friend, as our king, relationally, as opposed to like someone standing there being like a traffic policeman. You know what I mean? Like you go this way, that way. He wants to have more than that. So yeah, that patience comes, but we can have peace knowing that it's a relationship. So think of God and think of your relationship with Jesus as just that, a relationship, as opposed to like, give me my next task. You know what I mean? And so that's inspiring to me lately. But the next question would just be, sorry, Tim, I'm just, these are just kind of flowing.
Yeah,
was just, what obvious next question, Tim, is for the young guy or girl who hears what you're saying and has a heart to do that, who might have come out of the club scene, who feels like that's a trap for them. There's that kind of issue to talk through, but also like for the Christian or somebody who may have been in that situation, but they want to go back. But then there's like the pitfalls and the downfalls and the temptations and the things like that. So what also needs to be in place as we have a heart to reach out, like you said, that we can be successful and honor God relationally, because we want to protect what we have with Jesus, right? We want to protect that, so we don't want to compromise that. But how do we reach people while we protect that love with Jesus?
I think, well, the obvious one is obviously prayer, the Holy Spirit, but also being accountable as well. So definitely, it's not the sort of thing where you would just go on your own. You would definitely be going in at least twos, even more if possible. I mean, obviously with the podcast side of things, that doesn't really matter because everything's out there anyway. It's you and your audience. Whereas if you were actually going into clubs, definitely at least two of you, and also have your church praying behind you, friends. I mean, I've obviously got Alco and you guys, so I've got a whole team. I've got Steve, but I definitely wouldn't suggest that it's something you should just go, hey, I'm off to the club, I might just chat to someone. It's a lot more intentional, although it is definitely relational, and it's sometimes can be a slow process. It's also you've got to be intentional as well. And you're correct, there are so many temptations out there, so you've got to keep yourself focused on God, keep yourself in the Word and the Holy Spirit, and as I say, would be accountable to friends as well.
Absolutely. Community, prayer, accountability, maybe even like submission to people who are a little bit wiser that can help us guide those moments. I love it. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much. Okay, so we have a couple fun ones.
Well, actually, I have one more before we jump to that.
Yep.
I want to talk about. I'm always super stoked when producers that I know are Christians get support from major people. So when I mean my major people is like popular DJs or shows around the world. And it's been happening, and that's what's cool about electronic dance music, or Christian electronic dance music, if you want to call it that. Over the last number of years, the productions have been getting much better. Obviously, we play a lot of them on Movement Radio. And of course, for those listening or watching right now, if you know of others, please send us those artists and links. We'd love to play them. But I'm just really pleased with how much the kind of the Christian dance music community and production people have grown in terms of their abilities and their support. So I say all that with, you had a track called Utopia, which we love, both the original version, but also the Maxim remix. And what's really cool is that it got support from Above and Beyond on their group therapy show. I believe it was group therapy, right? Yeah. And so super stoked for you on that. I know it was a little while ago, but just tell us what that's like. What's that feeling like to know that, something that you created or you had a hand in creating? Obviously, I think they played the remix, but what's that like, just seeing something that you had a hand in creating being played to the masses, for sure?
Yeah, it's amazing. As you can imagine, it's I didn't even know that they were going to play the track, and I just happened to be following them, and they tweeted it out saying that they were playing Sonar's own track coming up with the Maxim remix, and I had to check. I was like, and then it happened actually. I think it was three weeks in a row it was played, which was incredible. I was just like blown away. It was really good. That was a good highlight, that one. Even though it wasn't the original mix, it was great, a great feeling. Absolutely.
Very cool.
Absolutely love that, dude. And if there's anybody who deserves that, it's you, bro. I love to see your face just light up when it comes to like some of these last topics we've been talking about, reaching people. You've always had a heart for seeing some of these major DJs and artists saved and come to faith in Jesus, and you've been actively involved in pursuing that and declaring that, and it's just I'm inspired because that's the kind of heart I want to have for some of these artists as well. So, dude, I could talk to Sonar Zone all day. Again, sonarzone.co.uk. Go check out his stuff. Twitch sessions Thursday. All kinds of information about Sonar Zone. He's the content king, or one of the content princes, if not the king. So, okay. So yeah, a couple fun ones. Fun quick questions for you.
So when we're in Dunfermline or anywhere close around there, and we have visited there a few times, but for anyone that's coming, what is the spot they need to go to eat? What's the favorite eating spot in your area?
Fish and chip shop. Fish and chip shop.
And actually, okay, you used to own and run a fish and chip shop, right?
Yeah.
So tell us quickly about that.
Yeah, so it's a long time ago now, but I ran a fish and chip shop with my wife Mel, who you've met, and we had that for about 15 years. It was a small shop, but it was the first online fish and chip shop in Scotland. That was another claim to fame there.
Wow.
Whoa, dude, that's incredible. You're like the first DoorDash, Uber Eats, yeah, it's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
DJ fish and chip shop.
That would be cool.
There you go.
I would come DJ in your shop.
Okay, but what's the place? What's the name of the place now that you would go to get fish and chips?
We would go to the Golden Chip, which is not far from here.
Okay.
Is that what you bought us?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. For me, I am so hooked on fish and chips, bro. I'm completely hooked on fish. This is something a little fishy about the whole situation.
Oh.
I don't know, but I could eat that type of food up to my gills. Do you know what I mean?
Dude, you're totally pulling the scales off my eyes, you know?
I'm just giving you guys a line. I'm gonna reel it in. I'm joking.
Oh.
Line and sinker.
Let's edit this part out. I was joking. I love it. Okay.
We're about to finish.
Yeah, I'm about to finish.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
fun fact for your viewers that we were up in St Andrews together, and we reenacted the Chariots of Fire scene.
That's right.
That's right.
I think you
Yes.
remember that.
Just remember who won. Who won the race?
It wasn't me.
Okay. Okay, that's awesome. It very well could have been you. Anyway, bro, that's exciting. Okay, coffee or tea? Are you a coffee person?
Coffee, 100%. Although lately I've been drinking Red Bush tea, which is absolutely beautiful. But if it was a choice, if there was only one or the other, it would be coffee.
That's awesome. So for your South African viewers, Red Bush tea is rooibos tea.
Rooibos, yeah.
And so you can talk to DJ Jira about rooibos tea. That's a great South African tea as well. Awesome, man. Well, do you have anything else, Tim?
All right, last one. Favorite sports team?
I'm not really into sports at all, but our local team's Dunfermline Athletic, if that's any good. And I'll say Manchester United for Jonathan's benefit.
Dude, no, that's cool. You got to, as an American, that's a big brand. It kind of got us giving attention to, English football so many years ago, but we know that that's not the only English team.
No, there's another one. Is it Liverpool? There's another one called Liverpool.
It's a little, yeah.
Never heard of them.
No.
You will
never walk alone.
That's right. Well, dude, I could talk to you all day, man. I was actually gonna bring up the fish and chip shop about with the true or false question. I'm glad that came up. I think that's so cool. Little known facts about Sonar Zone. I'm sure there's many, many more.
Fishy facts.
Fishy facts. That's right.
Oh.
But yeah, we love you. We love your town. We love your church, your pastors, your friends that we've met over there, guys who work at the youth center. And yeah, we're just super, super blessed to have one of the greatest on with us today. And
Thanks, man.
Seriously, I'm not overstating it. It's true. You do rib me for being late once in a while, but I still think you're one of the greatest. That's fine. And anyway, yeah, I guess we're gonna just close this up. But thanks for joining Movement Radio, the Moving the Needle segment. Again, Sonar Zone. .co.uk. And just, I guess, let's just end it like this, man. Do you have anything you would just leave with our listeners? Is there anybody who you would, or anything you would just leave with the people who may be watching this in the future?
For the parents that are there, as I said to you, I was brought up in a Christian home, but then did the prodigal son thing. So for the parents that are watching, if they've got any kids that are in that situation, just to know that the seeds that they're planting in them when they were kids will grow, and just to keep praying for them and believe that God's going to do His work in them.
That means a lot, dude. Thank you so much, Tim. All right. Well, it's been great having you, bro.
Been a pleasure.
Yeah. All right. You're amazing, bro. Love
See you
you
guys.
Hey, guys.